We want to teach our students to provide the best practice they possibly can. So what that means is they have to go and research the conditions that they're coming into contact every day. They need to know what the most recent updated research is saying, and that gives them tools to move forward and to give the right approach for their patients. Anyone who has a passion, basically. People can already be therapists themselves, so they may come from Western medicine, they may come from a completely different background such as business, IT, sales, or even they have the motivation to do this because of their own health issues or because of the health issues of a person close to them.
I'd like to work in my community, and because I'd like to improve the health of the community in the town that I live in, especially elderly population, because I'm very interested in working with elderly people, and at the moment I'd like to make good connections with them and see and help improve their health.
I started off as a masseur many years ago, and I love that feeling of connecting with people. But then I realised that for general diseases, when people actually, my own family have got coughs, colds or extended family, I wanted something to be able to treat that with. So then I learned about homeopathy for 4 or 5 years, and then I set up a practice as a homeopath. But then what I was realising was that unless you're actually addressing the real root cause of disease, which is actually what people are putting in their mouth, eating, drinking, then you're never actually going to address their health long term.
They'd need to show that they could learn at graduate or postgraduate level, and the reason for that is it's a very intense course. There's a lot of material, a lot to get your head around. That doesn't necessarily mean they have to be a graduate in this field. They can demonstrate from other areas, so they may be someone who's worked up their career pathway in their current role, and they can show applied learning to that.
Being a practice is great actually. It gives you the opportunity to feel like you're making a real difference to people.
I really enjoy it because it's a really dynamic environment. You get the input of the tutors, you get students, more practitioners, more experienced than I. So together it creates a really interesting environment, and you get loads of input and obviously the benefit to the client.
The foundation course is aimed at people who don't feel they have the admission criteria, or when we get their application we don't feel that they have that. It's in 4 modules, it's run over the summer before the full course starts, and the 4 modules are anatomy and physiology, biochemistry and pharmacology, clinical skills and basic nutrition. What we do is we run this course over 2 weekends. Half of it's on e-learning and half of it's face-to-face, and then we assess at the end of that course and assess for suitability.
Well, I think the thing that inspires me most about nutritional therapy is just the massive impact that the food we eat has on our general health and well-being. And just looking at how we were sort of 40 or 50 years ago when we were eating a lot healthier, and the general populace, I just think that it would be really nice to get us back to that state. So I'm just really interested and fascinated by trying to use nutritional therapy as an intervention to get ourselves back to that nice, healthy state we used to be in.
The thing I like about the NCA is it's a small college dedicated to just very specific areas of study around nutrition and Chinese medicine. Because of the scale of it, it's very friendly and extremely supportive. The staff are accessible, and in particular I like the fact that the staff the lecturers are also in practice, so they bring real-world experience into their teaching. Also, unlike being at a larger institution or university, it's much more, you feel much closer to your own student cohort, and much less anonymous than being in a very larger organisation.
I think because we are small, we can give a lot of one-to-one, a lot of pastoral care to students. I know when I first walked into this college, the whole ethos as soon as you walked in the building was that it was very friendly and open, and we try and keep that for our students. In addition to all the assessments through clinic to make sure that people are fit to practice in a clinical sense, we also have a business skills module which is taught at the end of year 2. And that helps the students to put together a business plan and to move themselves forward in their own way.
I actually work in an osteopathy clinic at the moment, and my boss is waiting for me to qualify, so he's got a little room waiting for me in a couple of years' time, and I want to be a one-woman clinic.
Absolutely it is. There's lots of exciting changes happening with nutrition. We're just on the precipice of something big, I think, and people like Jamie Oliver are opening up nutrition to the world, and we just need to tap into that. In addition to that, there's lots of people out there with chronic diseases who are sick and tired of taking hundreds of medications to keep them at bay but not make them well, and they're turning to nutrition. All we have to do is go out there and do our bit of the education to bring them in.